Check, check. All right, here we go with Season 3, Session 1 of the kind of revamped Business and Internet Mastery. We're starting from scratch with what we know now. So excited to be on this journey with you. Gotta tell you, I finally found the perfect dry erase markers. I don't know if you followed it all, but Expos markers, the ones I used to use, they changed their formula or something. They went like bland, could hardly see them. Then I used these quartets, which were incredibly difficult to erase. These not only are awesome, like the old Expos, but they're recyclable. You can put in new juice and keep them rolling. Just want to share for our thought leaders out there trying to do what they can to really make sure their message is seen and heard. That all being said, incredibly happy to be on this journey with you today as we start from scratch with what we know now. Now, here's the lay of the land. We're going to start with big picture perspective, so we kind of fuel the why. That's why we have the word why up here. Then we're going to dive into training that supports the big picture perspective, gives you distinctions, ideas, how to go through today to create a profitable, sustainable business for the entrepreneur, small business owner that doesn't kill you in the process. That you can keep emotionally connected with, emotionally engaged with, all these kind of things. Then we're going to dive into tactics. And this is where there's some of the changes are happening in the way we're approaching our business internet monthly mastery and just our training in general. Because here's what I've noticed. With a lot of the people that I've had the absolute honor of serving, they were kind of diluted in the way that they were approaching getting things taken care of, moving forward in their business and their life. So really want to narrow that focus down. I'll go over that with you as we clear out this beautiful mastery training today. Thank you so much for being here. My job on this beautiful planet is to make sure I take care of you, help you, love on you, support you, and yes, challenge you. That's the coach in me. So a little bit about me, in case you're new to our realm of teaching and training. Charly Caldwell II, certified high performance coach, have the absolute honor of being able to have coached over 3,000 sessions, one-on-one and in group, in following our master coach, Brendon Bouchard's formula for how we strategically work through helping you live into, sustain, and be consistent with high performance principles. So just so you have a little bit of backing there, the way we start is we start with what we like to call our core competencies. Clarity, energy, courage, productivity, influence. A lot of it's covered in high performance habits. In those first 12 sessions, that's the first half of them is the first 6, then we step into mastery work. Psychology, physiology, persuasion, productivity, presence, purpose. Then we step into another 12 sessions along the lines of living a fully engaged, charged life. What do the highest performers know about how they approach and strategically and intentionally put positive into their day, into their lives? Part of the charge. Those 12 sessions go over the 10 human drives. Then we step into what's called the declarations, which are all based on the motivation manifesto. The declarations in the book, we go deep on those so you can really feel that consistent motivation, inspiration towards living your best self. And recently, in the last year or so, the man has debuted the high performance planner that puts it in context every day so you can live in the high performance principles and crush it. So you feel more connected, joyful, confident in your life consistently over the long term. That's a huge part of starting from scratch today, and we'll be covering that in this beautiful pyramid too, about our mindset, how it affects things, how we move forward. So in line of what I've just shared, the way I perceive and love to approach life is through these beautiful 5 Ps. A lot of you in our mastery community know these Ps, live into these Ps. But for you, if you're new, we're going to go over them with you. If you're in our mastery community, my challenge for you today is to reassess and possibly realign where you're at now. And let's go ahead and get started with that. So the very first P, along the lines of the most happy, if you want to call it that, wealthy and healthy business owners, is to live and have a life and business of purpose. So if I'm writing on the board, you should be writing in your notes. And the idea here is To feel purposeful, a lot of people, they just are like, yeah, I feel purposeful, but they can't articulate it. Here's what we know. People who feel purposeful in the world of high performance have self-reported that they feel like they're improving other people's lives somehow, that they're growing other people's businesses as well as their own somehow. You see how there's a give piece of this? We'll talk about that as we hit the pyramid. But there's the big part of that. So like, for example, B2C, business to consumer businesses are typically improving people's lives somehow through a product, through a coaching program, through a solution. B2B companies, business to business, are helping other businesses grow their business somehow. So that could be along the lines of consulting, coaching, those kind of things towards really growing profitability, reach, these kinds of things. I'm blessed because I have businesses that do both. I have internet services group that helps businesses create strategy, and we can do the work for them or teach them how to do the work. Usually we do the work for them. And then I have Life and Business Success Group. That's my teaching, training, coaching company that this is running through. And that is, its only job is to assure you're thinking bigger, going after bigger ambitions, popping out of like limiting beliefs. And the big part of all this, sometimes you don't know what you don't know. Helping you know what you need to know. A lot of people, as we get into this part, you'll see they just believe in one way of running business. And when we talk about the other mechanisms, the other ways they can pivot, that reduce the amount of time they got to put in their business, but increase profit. Just that, what I just shared, is like so many business owners over the years have been like, what? How is that even possible? But that's a big part of this. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. And I would love for you to think about, in line of purpose, over the last year, how purposeful have you felt? And a typical coaching move is to assess it. Like 0, I haven't felt purposeful at all this last year. 10, I've been owning it, really feeling purposeful. And I'm intentional about how I create purpose in my life and in my business. So I'd love for you to think about that. Journal, think through, or at least write a number down. And if you're on live or in the replay, feel free to comment what that looks like for you in the last year for how purposeful you felt. What is that for you? And you need context? We kind of talk through that. Have you been helping others somehow improve their life, grow their business? What is that for you? Second P is passion. So many business owners I've met over the years, especially ones who've been in business for a while, they're like, I've lost the passion for my business. The emotional connection, engagement, enthusiasm for how I'm serving, what I'm doing. And I got to work with them. Sometimes it's time to close that business down. Other times it's time to pivot to something new or pivot their being to get more clarity, reset, rejuvenate, go after it, to increase passion again, to make calls, to be more present, to be more joyous. That all makes sense? So I'd love for you again, as we step into this from a coaching perspective and a training perspective, over the last year, how passionate have you felt? If you fell out of passion for whatever you're doing, how did you restart it? What were your traits, qualities, characteristics? One of the big things that I've done is I just go through and read feedback from people. Dude, that training helped me so much. Saved so much time. That training helped me do this. Look what I created. That ignites my passion fast. Third one ties into what we just shared. Positive. The joy. One of the big principles of high performance is bring the joy. So this couple parts to this we have to unpack. One, your mental positive mindset. Positive psychology. What are you doing every day to keep yourself in a positive state of mind? So many people in the high performance world, they go through the planner and they go through the morning routine, which really positions your day in a positive way. They end their day in a positive way. But a big part of that message, when the business owners I work with and coach, they're grateful. They spend a lot of time thinking through what they're thankful for, grateful for, these kinds of things. Does that help? So my challenge for you is this. What are you grateful for right now? What have you achieved or seen or created or had success with, maybe in the last year, that you're grateful for right now? Take that up a level. How positive have you felt in the last year overall? If you were to rate yourself 0 to 10. When you fell out of positive thinking, maybe to neutral, negative, how did you pivot? What was the shift? Anything there for you? Do you have some things? Do you have a bad day or do you have a bad moment? Back in the old days, back 20 years ago, I'd have bad days in a row, but my brain would let them manifest. Today I have bad moments because I have practices in play through my work in high performance that help me pivot right out of those bad moments. To just disconnect, reassess, take a break. You know what? Got this. This is life. This is how life can show up. Let's pivot this. Let's change this. Let's own it. Follow? Something there for you? I see you. What's going on? So incredible when we can get this dialed in. Next is productivity. A big part of what we teach in high performance is productivity in the bigger, more holistic sense. What does that actually mean? So often people are like, I'm productive, I have a task list and I smash it. I own it, I crush it. But high performance productivity means that we're getting our responsibilities done. We've thought through, though, what we can delegate and what we can delete. It was HPA, High Performance Academy, the event. A few years back, Ariana Huffington was there. And she goes, sometimes the easiest way to get tasks done is delete them. They no longer need to be done. So are there any tasks that you have maybe on a to-do list or just hanging around your brain that, you know what, that needs to go? That doesn't need to be done. Thought it did, doesn't need to be done. All I know is when she said that, I was going through my list. I do all my work in Evernote. And I'm like, whack that, whack that, whack that, whack that. Whoa, thank you, Ariana. Fantastic. Really powerful. So here's the thing, though. The highest performers, when they're running their business, they're very clear about what it means for them to be doing to live productively, to go after their life's work, their life's ambitions. And then outside of work, they're incorporating taking care of themselves, their family, their friends, their hobbies, their spirit, their mission. All these things are all part of the big picture of productivity. Does that all make sense? So I'd love for you to assess in the last year with the definition I just gave, how productive have you been in getting your things done, but also working towards thinking about even journaling your life's work, your life streams. Sometimes people call that a bucket list, and really going forward with it. We just got back from, well, not just, a couple weeks ago, from Switzerland, and our job, part of living productively, is to go through and document this in an edutaining way, educational yet entertaining way. And I challenged my daughter, Josie, to help me edit the videos to make the storyline happen. So I'll make sure to link to the videos below for you so that you can watch and see if we nailed it. You can be the judge. But that to us is living productively. We work, but we go out and have fun, and we own it. Full presence, full engagement, full joy. I used to be the guy who would be at, on vacation, be thinking about work, work, work. That was conditioning from the way I was raised, I found out. And now it's like, no, work will always be there. I got to pivot and own this dialogue right now. Really crush what's happening right now. Just be in the moment, be present, be engaged, be joyful. Celebrate. And I love it because we got video of it, had fun making the videos, and then we were able to tell the story, and we rewatched the videos as a family to bring ourselves back into that moment. So like the vacation, the adventure has legacy. Isn't that cool? That's high performance productivity. I hope you're seeing the difference. The last P, profitable. How profitable have you been in your business and in your life in the last year? So let's kind of set the stage here. Profitable, the way I define it for people living, is that 50% of your income goes to break-even expenses. Mortgage payment, rent, car payment, insurance, groceries, those kind of things. The next 10 or 20 or 30% goes to the fun fund. Fun and adventure, living life, knowing you've got money allocated for that. Maybe it's automatically positioned or dropped into an account, and that's for fun. And then beyond that, you're either paying down debt and or saving for the future. Sometimes you're paying down bad debt, the kind where it's you overspent, right? Or you're in, and this necessarily isn't bad debt, but just debt, school loans, those kind of things. But sometimes there's good debt, like houses and assets. We have a mortgage, and you're paying that down, but it's for a betterment of the future. So part of that's going to there. Break even is separate from that. And then we have fun and adventure. Now in business, break even also includes payroll, lease, internet, phone, whatever that is to keep the business running and keep it going. So in line of what I just shared, how are you doing? 0. Yeah, I'm going in a hole big time. 10, owning it. from a profitability perspective. Meaning that, yeah, break even's down here, I'm making money, I've got fund, team fund. If you're in a business, we'll have that allocated. Sometimes that money goes back into the business, to grow the business, to scale the business. And then we're also taking care of saving, just in case recession hits, the business can sustain. Now, I went through the 2008, 9, 10 recession with employees, and we survived, but I had to really make sure we dialed all that in, and we were very lucky because I was kind of running the ship strategically, taking care of exactly what I'm teaching you. You follow? I hope this is all coming together for you. That's the perspective piece, the big picture why, is to live into those 5 P's. So we have, in line of our lives, our entrepreneurial passion, dream, whatever that would be, our business, that we're purposeful, passionate, enthusiastic, engaged, positive, bringing the joy consistently. We're not only bringing joy, but maybe our team is too. Productive and profitable, going after that. Pretty good so far? Take a breath. Let it sink in. Now what I want to do is really walk through. If I was teaching my 20-year-old self, Char, here's the things you need to know, what would that be? And here's how that works. First and foremost, I would walk through this pyramid. The be, do, so we have be, do, have, give pyramid. I'd say, at a human being level, are you clear about the very best version of you, of how you show up for yourself? What are the, maybe, and this is something we teach in high performance, the 3 words that represent the very best of you for how you show up every day? For me, those words are present, joyous, bold. Just think about those 3 words, and if you're bringing that into your business, that presence when you're meeting with a client, they detect that immediately. Joy. Hey, you know what? Yeah, let's go after this. Bold. Asking the right questions. Pushing them a little bit towards their betterment. You see? Next, the do piece. What are we doing to live into who we want to be? What are we doing that doesn't live into who we want to be? Oh, I'm stuck in a rut here with my business. I know I got to be doing these things, but I'm not doing them. I've had that I'd say thousands of times people have said that. Why are you not taking action? Sometimes we have to talk through the have piece. What do you want to have? And we got to build the emotional case for that. And then we got to align the actions, the do, and we got to work on their being. You see how this stacks? But I can tell you that the bottom of this pyramid fuels everything above it. What we want to give. A great example, illustration of this is, so many people I've coached have said, you know what, Char, when I got to do something for myself, maybe I'll do it. But if somebody else is involved, I'm on it. Like an appointment with somebody else, I would never be late. If I was working out with somebody else, wouldn't miss it. But if it's just for me, yeah, I might go, I might not. The highest performers really take consideration for the appointments they schedule with themselves are just as important, and they're just as accountable as they are with others. So that's the reason why give can be a huge catalyst, because when you're giving to others and it's part of your business, you don't falter from that. You live into it. It fuels you to be the person, to do the right things, to have the things that you need to have. Does that make sense? To have the relationships that you need to grow a business, to have the offers, we'll talk about that you need to have the conversation with somebody to say, you know what, I know you're struggling here. I know from what you shared, you want this, but maybe we can take it here. I can help you. You want some help? Just the essence of sales right there. You follow? So let's break this down into sort of a little bit of a tactical piece to this and the way human beings work through the power of habit. The habit loop, as Charles Duhigg teaches in his book, The Power of Habit, kind of the definition of a habit starts with a cue. Once the cue is triggered, we go to a routine, and then we hit a reward. Just keep in mind, the very best systems, let's back that up. The very best businesses are run from great systems. And what is a system? It's simply a collection of habits. What is a habit? A cue, a routine, a reward. Great franchises have great systems. The cue, customer appears at, like at Wendy's, for example. Customer appears at the place to order outside the drive-through, and poof, trigger. Hey, and the routine is, hey, it's Charlie, how can I help you? And in a positive fashion, the reward, customer gets their delivery. I feel good about how that delivery was done. They pull up, smile as you deliver, all a series of habits. The very best franchises are very explicit in those series of habits that create the system. Now that may be a little over the head, but the idea is, if you're going to be the person you know you can be from the very best version of yourself, do the right things, have the right things, and give, what do you think you're going to have? Great, consistent habits. And I bring the word consistency into play because that's everything about our high performance journey and making sure we're living into and reprogramming and reconditioning our behaviors towards those ends for the long term. You follow? And that is tricky. So many people are like, I'm going to make these changes and they're going to stick. Doesn't work that way. It's a journey, not a destination. So I'd love for you to take a moment and assess. How are you doing at being your best self? What are you doing that helps towards those ends? What are you doing that hinders that? What do you have in your life? What is it that you need in your life? What is it as you go into the next year that, you know what, this is how I'm going to change to be even better. Maybe to give more, to help more, those kinds of things. So for example, in 2006, I sold 90% of my things with great inspiration from Tim Ferriss and the 4-Hour Work Week, and lived a life, and have ever since, of way more experiences with much less stuff. And boy, did I reduce stress, overwhelm, got real clear about what my life looks like, have a very clear vision for how I want to proceed. I'm so excited along the give path. Going to be going to Atlanta soon to do some research on an incredible opportunity for me to be able to contribute and help in new ways that are perfectly aligned. I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet. I will be sharing that with our mastery community members as I go through that process, just so they have some ideas too. But it's so great. It gives me chills just telling you this. It's so awesome to be able to think this through and look at that next logical step of contribution in my life. So I cannot wait to share that with you as we do the research, see if that's a good fit, and see what I can do there towards those ends. But does the habit loop help? A big part of this is asking, what's the cues that are showing up in my life? Are the routines good, or can they be better towards helping myself and others be better, do better, have better, give better? And the reward, is the reward helping the world somehow? Great example, just another side story for you. Me making coffee. Cue, gonna make coffee. Now, when I say I'm gonna make coffee, the routine is I ask people around, would you like me to grind some beans for you? I use a hand grinder usually, and create a cup of coffee that tastes awesome. We can have an experience. Then the reward is that I've helped myself and others enjoy an experience. Not just the coffee drinking, but maybe the socialization piece. You follow? I wrote about that in the book on Having It. I was blessed to be in that book. It was an Amazon bestseller. And I'll make sure that I link to it below so you can see what I wrote and what a lot of others wrote about having the best life possible, especially along these lines. Pretty darn cool, huh? So far we've gone over the 5 Ps, to training on the Be, Do, Have, Give pyramid, and the habit loop. How are we doing? Any questions? Any thoughts? Am I pushing it off? Would love to hear. If you have, you know what, Char, that's just, I'm not even sure how I could do that. Let me know. I'm here to help you, support you, champion you on, take care of you, love on you, and yes, coach you too, towards your benefit, hold you accountable. We'll be talking more about that as we hit tactics today. Really go after that. So now let's step into how I would set up a business and the things I'd think through today. First and foremost is you have to know your break even. I have worked with people who have destroyed relationships with those they love, destroyed friendships via partnerships in business, have really gone through very stressful, put on a lot of weight because they kept going on this downward spiral because they had no pull cord as to when they should pull the cord on their new business adventure or venture. And it's because they didn't know their break even. What is your break even? As we talked about earlier, it's the amount of expenses that's required for you to survive. Not only personally, but in business too. So my very first challenge for you as we step into this work is the BCD exercise. Take the time to find your break even. I've had 2 people go, Char, if I only knew this, I may be married to the love of my life that became somebody that I can't even talk to because she's so angry at me, or he, in this case it was a she, and because I became an evil person because I was under so much stress. But I hadn't sorted out what I needed to earn and where my break even. If I didn't meet it by a certain time, then I just had to go and get a job or transition to something else. You know? 2 people that I've coached over the last 2 years, they got into partnerships. Things fell apart because they were both putting money in the business, but they didn't have that clarity around break even. And they were like, I can't put any more money in the business. I can't either. It's your fault. It's your fault. That thing. When you get strategic, set intention around break even, it can change everything. So if you're starting a new entrepreneurial endeavor or a small business, whatever that is, take some time, find out your break even. I would even challenge you to see if there's any reduction. And I'm really masterful in that. Negotiating, those kind of things to reduce pricing. And let me know if you need help there. Let me know if you need help with this exercise. I'm happy to do that. Mastery community members, if you need a check-in call to realign, reassess, go after this, let's do it. We'll work on that together. We can do it right on the whiteboard through Zoom, just like we usually do. Once we know break even, then it's fun to go through and create our comfort and dream levels of income. Comfort income, level of income, is basically the way that we do it in my work. 2 times your break even, assuming you don't have inflationary expenses, where the expenses of, making money, I'm over my break even, let's charge some stuff, woohoo! That's not happening. We're saving, getting padding. And then finally, the dream level of income is 5 times break even. And that's just in the way that we like to approach it when I do coaching and consulting with people. So let's just put some real numbers here just so you can get a frame. Most of the entrepreneurs that I work with, they're aiming for about $100,000 in break even per year. So comfort would be $200,000 per year. Dream level, give me $500,000 per year. I'll make it rain, it'll be awesome. Our job as entrepreneurs is to define a way of working where we're generating our dream level of income. And today you can do this as one person. A few years back, could be tricky. Today you can do it as one person with tools, technology, and a great strategy. And maybe you use subcontractors for some of the stuff that you do. And I'll give you a strategy as we work through this together. But the idea is to do the work, have the right offers in play so that you can hit dream level of income without killing yourself. So we're going to talk about the 3 levels now. The first level of creating income is trading time for money. And there's a reason that's in red. Now, if I'm writing on the board, you should be writing in your notes. That's the rule. Trading time for money is where so many people live, but it's nearly impossible for startup entrepreneurs, those kind of things, to simply trade time for money to reach that, unless they're an elite level of clients and business and those kind of things. It's not impossible, but it can be very tricky. Most people, including me, have the second level of income at play, recurring revenue. So what is recurring revenue? It's where you're charging one fee every month that repeats automatically. So in service-oriented businesses, that could be service contracts. In thought leadership, that can be subscriptions, kind of like with our mastery community. And the idea here is that you get enough recurring subscriptions based on a leveraged model where you're doing something once that benefits many, that you're able to get to this level of income without crushing your monthly schedule. I work 10, 15 hours a week because I want to, not because I have to. Because back in 1992, got clear on recurring revenue, started service contracts in the computer business I was running. In 94, saw where the internet was going. People wanted local, live internet. So I went through and created with my ex-wife Internet Services of Michigan, charging about $20 a month. Our goal is to get to 2,000 subscribers. $20 a month times 2,000 subscribers, about $720K a year. We got to 10,000 subscribers in 4.5 years. October 10th, 2000, company came in, bought our subscribers and the rest of our business. I got to retire at the age of 29 because I got this dialed in. Today, I've got multiple recurring revenue streams set up and really going after that. Keeping cash flow. As my good friend Mark likes to say, cash flow for life. Got to be cash flowing. Preferably, comfort dream, positive cash flowing. Does that help? So you may be like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what a recurring revenue stream could look like in my business. I'm going to walk through a couple ideas for you. But if that's a problem for you, recurring revenue, if that's a problem, you just can't think that way, got to change your being, the way you think about the world, then you and I need to talk. Because I've helped hundreds of people, small business owners, entrepreneurs, medium business owners, even a couple large business owners, really put time, energy, and effort into that. Every one of them has been incredibly thankful, even if they didn't do anything with it, towards thinking that way. Quite a few of them have put it in play and have had their break even meet with their recurring revenue and felt a huge sensation of relief. Just because those two numbers meet. Imagine you have a certain number of customers paying you per month, and that amount meets your break even all by itself, just with the recurring rev. And you're not killing yourself to meet the deliverables for your offer or offers that are based on recurring revenue. So our job, as you and I think this through, is to have recurring revenue meet dream level of income. And if that seems like too tall of an order for you, then you and I need to talk. Because I love having that. My purpose on this beautiful planet is to help you from where you're at to where you want to be. And in my purpose statement, there's a little asterisk by B. To help you dream bigger, to go after it. And I hope this example is something that you and I can work on to really go after that for you. Even just talking, maybe if you're in Florida or whatever, we can go out, have a drink, have a coffee, have a walk on the beach, whatever that is, and really think about this. Because this may be the one thing that pivots your life along these 5 Ps and helps realign you towards really going after helping the world, feeling good about it, but also taking care of you for the long term. Does that all make sense? Oh, I love this stuff. I love being here with you. The last level, the third level, is percentage of sale, percentage of profit. And I look at this like icing on the cake. So often, people have, a great example of this actually, is eXp Realty. They have it structured in such a way that if you are an eXp real estate professional and you bring people into their organization, it's like a referral network, if you will. You get income based on their production, and I believe it's for life. There's a few people that I've heard about that are creating $10,000, $20,000 a month in just bringing referrals in and them doing business, selling and buying homes for people. You follow? That's percentage of sale, percentage of profit. To make it easy on us, anybody who buys from Amazon, we can make 4 to I think 15% through Amazon's associate program. So for example, the camera I'm looking into right now to see your beautiful face is a Panasonic Lumix GH5. And a lot of people have clicked the button to buy that. And I think it's like $2,500. So I get over $80 every time somebody buys it. Amazon sends me a payment. It just shows up in my bank account automatically. I'm like, wow. Then I can go and see the report of exactly what made that payment and rock that out. Isn't that awesome? So our job is to go through and think about what can we do as our core service in a leveraged fashion. Let's go ahead and draw a nice little explosion around this guy. And then what other services or solutions or products can help in the customer experience that we can also monetize. Get that laid out at a foundation level, and then just go out and build relationships. One of the sayings that I love that I came up with, this was kind of off the cuff in one of my trainings, and so many of our mastery members love it too, is every interaction is an opportunity to serve. So if you're purposeful, passionate, and positive about what you have as your offers, the things that you can do to help people in the world, and somehow that conversation can get started, and you can help people see a bigger dream, and then ask them, hey, you know what? I can help you here. Boom. Such a pivot. Just going out, walking around. You see somebody, strike up a conversation, sitting at a bar, sitting at a coffee shop, out on the beach. Down here in Florida, we do that a lot. Wherever you're at, there's opportunity everywhere. That's around the abundance mindset. So I know I threw a ton at you. So let's break it down. Why are we doing what we're doing? As we teach in high performance, to feel full engagement, joy, confidence, consistently for the long term. I perceive it to be along these 5 P's. To feel purposeful, to feel passionate, emotionally engaged, enthused about what we're doing, to feel positive, to feel productive, that we're doing the stuff that we need to do, our responsibilities, but above and beyond that, we're living into our life's ambitions, our life's work, our uniqueness, creatively expressed. We're challenging ourselves. A lot of the stuff we cover in the charge sessions. Really going after that towards living profitable. I've helped so many people align the first 4, and the 5th one happens automatically if we have the right offers and we're the right person, doing the right things, having the right conversations, giving value. Does that all make sense? So I want to make sure we tie this all up for you. So to recap what we've talked about, you've got to develop and define your break even. This may mean you need to go back through credit card statements, back through bank statements, see what consistently shows up in terms of payments, see where money goes like this, because one month you may eat out a lot, the next month not so much, and just come up with that average. What I've discovered, as I mentioned, 100K a year for most small business owners, entrepreneurs. That's their aim. Above that, yes. Below that, can be questionable depending on how that works. Double that, that's your comfort level. As long as you don't have inflationary expenses. Your dream level, 5 times your break even. 100K, 200K, 500K. Pretty cool, huh? Down here we have the 3 levels of income. This is red for a reason. Trading time for money is not something we want to do for the enduring long term unless we have this in play and we do that for fun. We do it because we love it. Like, that's my story. I still coach one-on-one, which is literally trading time for money, but I do it because I love it. I don't have to do it. As a matter of fact, I could stop doing everything right now and live a really, really powerful, positive life. But I love being here, helping you, teaching you. And trading time for money at the one-on-one coaching level is how I do that. That's a part of it for me. And I purposefully let that in because I love to see growth at a one-to-one level. Now, I only have a few spots open, and most of the time they're full. So that's the capacities for me. But I'm very clear and strategic about that to make sure I'm helping the people who need the most help, or I can help, who've asked for help, who do take action. Big part of that. And recurring revenues at play and percentage of sale, percentage of profit. Most millionaires have 7 or more revenue streams. Let's say that again. If you haven't heard that before, get your notes out. Most millionaires have 7 or more revenue streams. One could be this. There might be multiples of those like there is for me and so many I've coached and helped. And a few of those too. You follow? So incredibly powerful when you get it. So what I'd love to do now is make this real for you. How is it possible to have a recurring revenue stream that's leveraged in today's world and really go after it, and then give you this visualization as well? So big part of this is subscription revenue. So for example, a lot of thought leaders, they'll have a program like we do where they'll do some training per month, maybe some coaching per month, and then have some live Q&A. This is exactly what we do. And there's a charge for that. And our basic membership price for our master community is $297 a month. Now, when we started, we ran a very specific promo. Founding members locked in $97 for life. So many of our Mastery Community members are still enjoying this. On our 3rd year, can you believe it? Rocking this out 3 years strong. And they're still enjoying the support, the care, love, challenge, insight that I provide in our twice per month Q&As, and then we have quarterly check-ins. All of these kind of things that really help them propel their life and their business. So let's break this down. What does it look like to create $1 million business? 2 times what we said with Dream. We said 500K. $1 million year business, how many people do you need? How many subscribers do you need? 860 at $97 a month is $1 million year business. 281 at $297, 168 here, and 84 here. Now, if you've ever read 1,000 True Fans, it's a really amazing article online. You just Google it, 1,000 True Fans. I'll make sure to link to it in the replay. If you've ever read that, very helpful for understanding that that number is not unattainable. You got over 7 billion people on the planet, and your job is to help 860 in your area of expertise or help them along their path of what they want in a leveraged fashion. If that's all above your head, that's why I'm here. We can have that discussion. 281 people, less than 300 people at $297 a month. 168 people at $497 a month. 84 at $997 a month. So how does it actually look? Like, those are price points that we like to define in the world of what we do as offers. Each of these is an offer. So let's kind of make it real and go over a specific strategy for you that I've helped so many implement. Part of my one company does the implementation work. The other part helps people understand how to do it best practice. So the concept is this. In the world of social media, YouTube, blogs, our website, we want to have a healthy online presence, which follows along high performance to a T. Consistently over the long term, putting good vibes into the world. But being clear in the way we deliver that every so often to say, hey, you know what? If you want to attain what I'm talking about with these good vibes, if you want more of that in your life, I can help you. So along the lines of my Health, Wealth, and Happiness brand, how can I create more health, wealth, and happiness? Get some training, get some coaching, and then let's do Q&A so we can make it real for you. And that's all part of the Mastery Community Offer, the monthly program, right? But those videos go out and these inspirational posts go out on our social Facebook page, for example, and that stirs up interest. And I just can't believe how many people share and interact with things that I find inspiring. To go all the way back to this guy right here and this, instead of getting up in the morning like reading the news, you get up, you look through what you find inspiring, and you share it. That's the piece to this. And that's adding value. So when we think about the visualization here in the How I Serve realm, we have value videos that this R represents create, build, and maintain the highest quality relationships. So the best practice here is to have an 8 to 10 minute video that follows a very specific storyline where there's one theme, a story that builds around the theme, maybe a couple distinctions or training points, and then a challenge. And if you want to see that in action, I challenge you to get into my 10-day Health, Wealth, and Happiness Challenge, which is the second piece here, because that helps build rapport with those people that may want to work with you. And over the course of 10 days, I'm showing them, here's the struggle, here's what's possible, and if you need some help, I'm here for you. They either like me by the end, or love me, or don't like me at all, and they've cut out in day 1 or 2. But each one of those days in that 10-day Health, Wealth, and Happiness Challenge is very clearly about one topic. And inside the challenge, we're saying, if you want more help, I've got something for you. The first level is to join our monthly program. Apply to join our monthly program, and we'll make sure we're taking care of you along what you want to achieve in your life, in your business, or through by using like the power of the internet, or all three, right? Below that, we have group coaching. And then below that, trading time for money on this one-on-one coaching. And we do trade time for money in group coaching. I mean, technically you're trading time for money on all these. It's just how leveraged that trading time for money is. Where In our monthly program, I'm working about 8 hours a month, and unlimited people can come. You follow? With group coaching, there is a limit to that. With one-on-one, there's a big limit to that. So if we map this stuff up to here, you could have a monthly program that is here or both. Maybe that's the basics, and this is with your interaction and Q&A. And then you may have group coaching here, and maybe one-on-one coaching here. Or I would challenge you to even raise that. Maybe $2,000 a month, 3 to 5 clients, whatever that would be, and really go after that. So what you're seeing here is that these piece together in such a way where you may have people at different tiers, and combined, you're reaching your dream, right? 500K is half these numbers. So 42, 84, 280, 140. And these may be more attainable, even half that, to get in between here and here. And that might be your first year goal. I hope we're painting a frame for you. This is something I like to call our How I Serve visualization. And it's something I try to do with everybody we work with, to make sure that you are really clear on what you're going after, and you're clear on the deliverables, who you need to be, what you need to do, what you need to have, and what you need to give along these realms. You follow? Really, really powerful. So let's go ahead and take a moment, take a breath. If you're watching the replay, pause the video, go ahead and write down any questions you have. Maybe some goals that you're trying to, all right, my goal in the next month is to figure out my break even and to think about what I could possibly do in these realms. Really critical to know this. Share what you've got in the comments below. That helps you be accountable with it. That helps me understand where I can serve you, where I can help you, where you need maybe the next training to go, where we need to work for you down this path. Did you follow? Really powerful. So adult learning theory says at this point, I need to recap what we've trained so it sinks in at another degree of depth for you. You ready? So at the very top, we talked about our big perspective. Why? Those 5 Ps. To really understand what it means for me or you to feel purposeful every day. What are you doing in life and business using the power of the internet? To ignite, reignite, go after that passion. So many people I work with, like I said, they lose their passion and they don't have ways to reignite it, and then they go down a downward spiral. And all of a sudden, if you've ever noticed, when energy's low and you ask people how their business is going, it's not going so well. That's the kind of energy they're bringing to it. They need to reignite. And maybe you're in that position and you need some help there. We can work through that together. To bring positive psychology, mindset, joy. To be productive, to go after what we've got to get done, but to know what to delegate, what to delete, and also work towards our life's ambitions. Really be clear about that. And to be profitable. And I found, as I mentioned, you line those 4, the 5th one with the right offers can happen automatically, especially if you structure it in a specific way. By the way, if you're going to make value videos, you can clip out pieces of your videos using an amazing tool called capwing.com. Kapwing.com. It takes a YouTube video and it lets you automatically format it for Instagram in a 5 to 60 second clip. It's got all these wonderful tools. Best part, it's free. Capwing.com. I'll make sure to link to it below. Kapwing.com. Love that tool. We're going to be leveraging that. Just discovered that, by the way. And we're going to be leveraging that a lot. So this is the kind of way that can be. Over here, we got to be clear about our mind, who we want to be. We got to be reassessing that, reconnecting with that, determining how we want to feel as we go through our day. It's a big part of this beast. We also got to be clear about what we're doing, what we're having, what we're doing that supports what we want, what we're doing that doesn't support, and what we're giving, along with the habits that we have in play. The cues that are showing up that are really moving forward along this ambition. The cues that are showing up and the routines that are put into play that are hindering us towards this ambition. And then knowing what our rewards are. All part of the habit loop. Charles Duhigg, thank you so much for writing that book, The Power of Habit. I'll link to that below for you. Then we have a break even. Eliminate a ton of pain in your life by knowing what that is, continuing to work it, and then doing the 2x piece to that. If my break even is 100K, all right, going for comfort, it's 200K. Going for the dream, 500K a year. And connect that to recurring revenue. Red, trading time for money. Green, where the money's at, recurring revenue. Blue, icing on the cake, percentage of sale, percentage of profit. Our job is to connect that to there and rock it. How? Here's a specific example of how to make that work. $1 million a year, monthly rebill. That's what recurring revenue is. How? Go out and put value in the world, helping people, one topic per video. Maybe send them to a challenge from that so they can get more integration in the way you do things. Then offer them your monthly program or coaching or consulting or whatever that next step is for you. Cool? This point in our training today, it is time to jump into tactics. First tactic, I want to make sure you hit the ground running. This is your marching orders. The first tactic is to think about and journal your 5 Ps now. So I'd love for you to think about, what is it for me to feel purposeful, passionate, positive, productive, and profitable in my life and business? Maybe 1 page each. Define what it is, and maybe define what it isn't. These are the things that I know that I don't like, that make me the opposite of passion. These are things that make me neutral or negative. These are things that really derail me from being productive. These are things I've tested, measured, tried that are just not profitable. Now, I would question you on these things because sometimes the way you were approaching it made it non-profitable. You have to develop your influence and persuasion skills, something we cover in our first 12 sessions of high performance, to make sure you're arcing the message, the marketing, if you will, the storyline, the drive, the challenge for them to take the next step. And that might be something that was the reason why maybe what you tried didn't work. So think through, journal your 5 Ps. Second, define your break-even, comfort, and dream levels now. And if you need help there, I'm here for you. Just let me know. I'll be more than happy to take you on that journey together. Number 3, think about brainstorm your level 2. What are the options? There's so many great books out there. Just search for automatic income. I'm trying to think of the titles. There's like 5 that I've read that are really good about stirring up ideas there. I'll make sure to link to some of them in the comments below so that you can get some clarity. At least get the sample on Kindle on Amazon just so you can get an idea if that author is somebody that resonates with you. That's what I like to do. Fourth, define your offer. So we've defined 3 offers here: a monthly program, founding member, general membership, group coaching, possibly one-on-one coaching. You might want to go higher than that depending on what your offer is. And set up a way to take money. It's never been easier to do that. You can use PayPal and do your delivery through YouTube, like totally free. Well, not totally free. Every time you take a payment in PayPal, they take a little percentage, but only when you're receiving money that they get money. There isn't a recurring charge for that. And YouTube is free. So, great example of how to do this for free. Number 5, this is the new part to the way we're approaching our mastery training now in season 3. Email one of your goals from all of this, the one you feel like you need the most help to discuss, to think through, to go after, to me at mygoal@successacademy.us. mygoal@successacademy.us. I'll link to it below. Think through what that is for you, and that's how, for our beautiful Mastery Community members, we're going to really get motion for you. Now, the way I like to work this is that goal may be a big goal, maybe a quarter goal or a half-year goal. We got to break it into milestones, or it's a monthly goal. This month I'm going to work on this. This month I'm going to work on this. This month I'm going to work on this. By the end of the year, you might have 2, 3, 4, 5, even 12 goals nailed to see real growth. What we've seen, as I've reflected back on our mastery community, is it was too far spread. In our check-in calls, we weren't real clear about what our goal is. That's a big part of my fault, was not challenging us on that. And I want to make sure that I'm taking care of you and really moving towards doing the right things, having the things you want, and giving in the world while being this person, if that's your desire. So that all being said, I hope you feel the new change, the new way we're approaching this, what you should concentrate on from starting from scratch as an entrepreneur, as a small business owner. Maybe it isn't starting from scratch for you. Maybe it's just realigning. But I also hope I demonstrated living into those beautiful 5 Ps, to live more purposefully, more passionately, more positively, more productively, and yes, more profitably too. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, comment below. Pop me an email. If you got your goal, send it to mygoal at successacademy.us. I will see you there. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.